So I'm doing this video today because I have these, I'm going to do a bunch of coffee dyeing, but I want to do some experimenting with it, with some coffee and some tea dyeing. So that's why I'm filming this. So whether it turns out or doesn't turn out, I'm still going to post the video so you can get some ideas. So first of all, I have this stack of envelopes that I got at a thrift store, and I like the look when I frayed the edges. So I'm going to go, oops, not like that, but I'm going to go through and cut these, fray the edges around so that I can make journals out of them by folding them like that. And then I'll have the three edges that are frayed. So I'm going to go through that and do that first. I'll probably glue this down first, and might have to glue that down lastly. I'll see. Anyways, I'll fool around with this, get this done. And so I'm going to coffee and tea stain this. And I'm also going to just use some copy paper. Okay, so that worked out good. I got better at it as I got going, tearing the edges. And I like this paper because it's heavier than your copy paper, so I figure I have more time to manipulate it, but it's just better quality, so even with making journals, it's better quality. So I have in the bin here, I have some paper soaking, and so I'm going to try, maybe this isn't better quality for doing coffee with because it wants to tear on me. Let's see, do this carefully. I'm just going to lay it on this board for now. Oh, I've got two here. Nope, this is the, okay, so these want to come off. That's alright, I can deal with that. Okay, now what I thought I'd do is, I have this tea that, remember in my last video I had this given to me, and I don't like it at all. It's horrible tasting tea. So I want to fool around with this. So one of the things I thought I'd do with, first of all, is just put some along the edge. So I'm just going to go around, put some along the edge, and then in the center, where the center of the signature would be as well. And I want to get all the layers on here. It'll keep it moist for a while, and hopefully the idea is give some really interesting staining along the edge of the paper. So that's one of the things that I wanted to try. Okay, so there's sheet number one. Now I don't mind the fact that it's wet laying it on top, because I think that's just going to add to the design, both coming up from the bottom and providing more moisture for what's underneath those raw tea leaves there. So the second thing I want to do is lay like a stencil down on the edge, like that. This isn't a very good stencil, but because it's got one type here and one type over there, but I'm going to have to make do. And then drop some tea leaves right on the edge. I think I could have gotten closer. Like that. Let's see what happens. Now I don't have enough to go all the way around, so I'm going to have to pick this up. And then put that down. And do some more. Take it off that direction. Okay, worked out better. Down there. Now I have these templates, so I thought maybe I would try doing like an oval. So right in the center. to just put these on the edge like that. I know you guys are watching this and you're going, oh, that gives me an idea. That's usually what happens with me. I get watching somebody's videos like, oh, gotta write this down. Okay, let's put an oval on this side as well. Okay, set this off. Yikes. Woohoo! That's cool. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit more along the edge. And I have this type of a stencil. What if I just laid the whole thing down? Like, okay, what if I did like that? I don't know. I'll do this square first. Okay, let's try that. I think that looks rather cool. Put it on the edge. Interesting to see what this looks like when it's all done. Nice thing about this videoing is you'll be able to see at the end of the video, whereas I might have to wait till the end of the day until I get this all soaked in. Oh, can't move it now. Okay, what's next? Maybe I'll just do a plain one next in case that should show through. So just do some. Well, I have these leaf stencils, so that'd be nice to do some leaves. And this one has some nice edging on it as well. Okay, dry my hands. So if this works, I guess.
Having trouble with my times tables and divisions.
Okay, we're back at this. So I was saying that what? Sounds like I'm going to get interrupted again. I guess the more stencils that you have, the more fun you can have if this works. I wonder what would happen if you drop jello powder.
I don't see.
Okay. Oh, that's it for the interruptions. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about jello. Jello powder. I wonder what would happen if you dropped jello powder through a stencil. What else could you drop through a stencil? I know you spray through stencils all the time, but mine is working. Is there something in there? It's cool how you can see. That's really cool. You can see the leaves and things through it. I just hope the paper stays wet enough long enough for this to be able to work, which is why I don't mind piling up papers one on top of one another right now, because it'll keep the papers moist enough for hopefully for this tea to be able to stain the paper. It's actually kind of fun. More in there. Oh, I can see a stem. I can't really see the, I do not have my glasses on either, but I can't really see the shapes until the tea leaves start to darken up, and then I can actually see the shape of the leaves. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, anything else? Okay, I don't think so. I'm just going to do around the edges now. Now, do I try lifting that off or leave that on this time? Maybe I'll leave that stencil on this time, just to see what would happen when the stencils get left there. You never know till you try, right? Okay, what's next? What do I have next? I decided to just lay this circle template right down on the sheet and just do all of them. It's different. Naughty. Give it a try. And we have this nice flat edge here, so we'll see how that turns out when there's tea leaves put on the edge of that. I'm so excited to see how this turns out. Cannot wait. Now I do like when the coffee grounds are just slopped on. And I did save some coffee grounds, but I'm going to try and do it just with the tea leaves right now and just see what that does. I'm just going to do a little bit here and there. Oops, tore that one. Okay, time to do these half sheets. Where did they go? I'm going to try laying this one on. Let's see. Thought. Oh, I like that. That would be cool. Okay, I'm out of stencils for now, so what I'm going to do is use my leftover coffee. So these wet coffee grounds, so I'm just going to take a look at this for some interesting effects for the rest of them. And what I'll do now is I'm going to let these soak in for a couple of hours and then shake them out over the sink or over probably this pan, and then lay them out in different areas all over the place where they can just air dry. I don't usually dry them in the oven. I know it doesn't take long, but I have a problem with that. Because I think anytime you do something to make papers brittle, they're going to, it's not going to be as archival long term. Maybe I'll just keep stacking. I'm just going to keep going until all my papers are done, I think. Get them all done, get them all finished, done and over with. And I'll get back to you when these are dried. We'll see what they look like. Okay, I let them soak for a couple of hours and now I've got them laid out all over my house drying. And you don't imagine they'll be totally fully dried until tomorrow. But I have them laid. My house looks like, look at that, isn't that cool? I just love the way that looks. That's so cool. I mean, the coffee grounds are stuck to it right now because they're still wet. But they've had a chance to soak in on that pile, so now I'm spreading them out so they have a chance to dry. So I've got them all over the place. All my counters, every spot that's available, including in my oven, they're all drying. Okay, so I have this set up to brush off the papers. So in the sink I've put some paper towel to catch the coffee grounds, and I have my stacks of paper here. So what I do is I just take a microfiber cloth. You can use any cloth, you can use a piece of paper towel, whatever you want, and just brush it all off. So I'll go through these stacks of paper and get them all brushed off, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all finished. So you can see where it's made this kind of speckled effect the tea has when you just kind of sprinkle on the tea onto the wet paper. And I hope this lighting is okay. And I'll show you some of these other ones. Here's one where there's some dark around the edges. And I'll probably have to iron these. Some of them got quite wrinkly. And here's the one where it had the 3 ovals on it. Another one with some ovals. There are a couple nice speckly ones. I like the way that one turned out. Very speckly compared to like when I just slop on the coffee. This one turned out quite speckly, whereas if you just slop on the wet coffee grounds, they tend to just leave more of a wet blobby areas. And here's one where I did around the outside edges. I did the dark around the outside edges. I'll move this out of the way. It really didn't stain it near as dark as what I had expected, but I guess because the tea leaves were dry, next time I might try and make more of a soupy, sloppy mess of the tea leaves and try it that way. Some of these cool ones I thought I'd just brush off right here in front of you. I'm excited to see how these ones are going to turn out. We have those rectangle prints on there. That turned out pretty cool, actually. Circles. What? the way the back of this one turned out as well. There's ones with the circles. It's quite nice. And then this one is one with the leaves. I'm going to see how this one turned out. Sometimes the little grounds get stuck on there, and you just work them off with your finger. Okay, look at the way that turned out. Really nice. Let's see if we can get some better angle there. Yeah, that turned out really nice. Look at that. Really cool. Here are a couple that have some nice speckly, lots of nice dark speckliness to them. That turned out quite nice, I think, this one. Another one. Yeah, I'm pleased. It's not 100% like I expected, but I'm still happy with the results. And like I said, this was an experiment, so let me know what you think about it, or if there's anything that you think I could do differently to improve it. So, or just make a different type of paper. Yeah. So I'm happy, I'm excited the way it turned out, and let me know what you think of it. And thank you for watching. Bye for now. Here's a couple of more that I just found. I forgot I had set them in weird places to dry, but anyways. This one turned out pretty good. It's quite a bit darker than the others. But this one here turned out really crazy, and I think one of the reasons was, first of all, this is one where I really concentrated on putting a lot of tea along the edge, and you can see the design there where I had laid that little stencil edging. It doesn't show up a whole lot, but like I said, I think if I wet the tea next time it might make a bit of a difference. It also picked up some, looks like it picked up some, I had laid this one on a cutting board, so I think it had absorbed some staining off of the cutting board, which is okay. I think it adds to the effect. I think it looks really cool. Try laying your papers on your cutting board. Woohoo! New idea. Kidding. And I'm going to have some pictures. I'll have some pictures at the end. Hopefully I'll get some nice close-up pictures of these, so if you want to have, see them in some better lighting, better shots of them, I'll try and get some good close-ups at the end of the video.